everyone, I'm out on the back deck today and I'm putting together something that I have been thinking about for months. So I'm going to create a border right along this wall on the back deck filled with dinner plate dahlias and giant zinnias. These are two of my absolute favorite plants to grow in my container garden, and I have had this vision in my head probably since around like Christmas time, because last year, and I'll put in some videos or some clips here, but last year I put what I called my shade border, which I really loved how it looked. It was a mixture of the tiny quickfire hydrangeas and some caladium varieties that were either pink or white, and it looked beautiful, but it was so low to the ground. And the couch is actually like kind of right here, everything shoved out of the way, because one of the things with a small garden is everything is in the way all of the time. So the couch is here and it was so low to the ground that it just got lost. Barely anybody ever saw it. So I knew I wanted to put something tall, and both dinner plate dahlias and my giant zinnias, at least in my experience in my garden, get somewhere between like 4 to 5 feet tall. So I think this will be perfect. Now, even though I called it my shade border last year, this actually, here, let me actually angle the camera down. So I think you can see there's really just, right now, maybe like a foot of shade before the sun starts to hit. And as the sun gets higher in the sky throughout the year or throughout the summer, this part of the shaded deck gets smaller and smaller. So really by like midsummer last year, my plants were in full sun, but they still did great. And because what I'm growing here is going to be a little bit taller, should have no problem getting the full sun that they prefer. And I'm probably going to start them a little bit further out away from the wall while they're shorter, and then as they grow I'll move them a little bit further back when they can start hitting that full sun based on their height. Let me show you the things that I'm using, and then we'll go around and look at the plants I'm going to use. Some are already planted, some I still have to plant up. So for every single thing I'm growing, I'm using a 7-gallon grow bag. These grow bags are Bootstrap Farmer, but I got them on Amazon. They are new to me this year, and I got them just because I wanted something brown. So only for aesthetic purposes, because brown really blends in the best here in my garden. I use black grow bags still. I did have beige grow bags in the past, and they worked fine. Like as grow bags, they functioned fine, but the beige really showed all of the dirt, and I'm hoping that this will hide it a bit more. Black, you can't tell at all. We'll see how it goes with these, but I'm gonna do 1 plant per 7-gallon grow bag. 7 gallons is the size that I've used for my dinner plate dahlias for 3 years now, and this will be my first year growing 1 giant zinnia in a 7-gallon grow bag, but from my experience with spacing it in my raised beds, this should be plenty of room for it. So I'm excited to get these planted. Now my dahlias are already planted. I'll actually post down all of my dahlia care videos and containers, from starting them to maintenance to overwintering them, in case you are interested in learning more about that. But I already planted up my dahlia tubers that I got with you this spring from Gethsemane Garden Center, and they were planted up. I think I had 12 total. I put them in the shower to let them pre-sprout. I probably started them around early April, and I think of the 12, 9 have sprouted, which overall is pretty good. It always is a little bit disappointing, especially if like maybe you just got a pack of 2 and only 1 actually sprouted, but 9 pretty good. So I have already planted those. They are in the grow bags. I just need to move them over here. What I haven't planted up yet are the zinnias, and I think what I'm going to do back here are the Floret zinnias that I got this year. The seeds are new. She just released them for zinnias, and I have precious metals. I am so excited because they look so pretty in photos. I'm assuming they're going to be just as beautiful in real life, but I'm really excited. I don't know how many zinnias I'm going to fit, so I'm going to first put all my dahlias into place, and then I will kind of figure out how many zinnias and how I'm going to organize everything. Now let me show you the other 2 things I'm going to use other than the 7-gallon grow bags. I have these plant lifts, also from Amazon. They don't raise your grow bag or pot too much off of the ground, but just enough to protect the deck. Because one thing I didn't do at first, which I wish I had done, was put all of my grow bags, which basically function like a sponge on wood when they're wet. If I put them on this, it allows for some airflow and some separation between the grow bag and the deck, so I don't have moist material sitting on top of the deck. So each grow bag is going to have one of these under it. And then for support, I use these 19-inch green cages. I've only been able to find them at Home Depot, maybe like Menards and Lowe's, but Home Depot is what's closer to us. I've tried to order some online from different retailers or Amazon, and they're never as good as these. So I'll link these down below. I get them online from Home Depot, and I love them. I use them for supports on my dahlias, my peppers that maybe don't need a giant tomato cage, anything that needs a little bit of support, but not like a 3-foot tall support. So each of the grow bags is going to have one of these inside of it. So now, let me take you around, show you all of my dahlias, just the mess of the garden right now, and then we'll get things moved over and in order and in place. So here are my dahlias in grow bags. Again, started in April, left inside, just brought them outside maybe in the last week or two permanently, but I was moving them in and out if it was warm enough during the day, but dropped down at night. So I do have 9. They're all kind of gathered here. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in grow bags already. These 2 I ran out of either grow bags or soil. I can't remember, so I planted them in smaller pots. And I'm going to pot one of these into this grow bag that did not sprout. Actually, let's go ahead and head over and see if I can find any signs of life in it. So this one was a Thomas A. Edison, which is a deep purple color. I do have a second one that sprouted, but it's been 6 weeks, and really by now you should see something. So if you don't yet, you can just very gently, so you don't break any stems, move soil away to see if you find anything. Now I'm actually feeling something here. Oh, no, that's just the top of the tuber that I buried. So it is not a sprout. So let's actually, I'm gonna go ahead and dig this one up. And see if there was any, and this tuber is actually falling off now, which I don't remember it being like that when I planted it, but yeah, there are no signs of any sort of life on this one. So this one's getting kicked out of the garden. And then one of these is decorative, one of these is dinner plate. So this one is my Otto's Thrill, which I love this. It did the best for me last year. I'll pop in a video or photo. It was stunning last year. So all I'm going to do is take it out of this smaller nursery pot and plop it right into there. So simple enough. And then I need to relabel so I don't think that this is Otto's Thrill. What's interesting is clearly I started to write an O on this. So maybe I knew that this was going to be for an Otto's Thrill. So I'll just plop that in there now. And now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dahlias in grow bags. Now 2 of these for sure are gonna go in between these 2 raised beds and these 2 raised beds, because I did that last year with Otto's Thrill and I absolutely loved how it looked. So let me see. I'm trying to think here again in terms of color and positioning. I think I might have more pinks, but let's see. So I have Otto's Thrill, which is pink. I have 2 Lilac Thyme, and I want the same one, like the same variety on each side of those beds. So I have 2 of the light purple. I have, you are gigantic. Which one are you? I have 2 of the Fairway Spur. I believe those are an orange. I need to quickly Google that to double check. I know I only have 1 of the Thomas A. Edison, so that's definitely going in the border. I have 1 Penhill Watermelon and a second Penhill Watermelon. So with that, I'm not actually sure which ones are gonna go in the back, because I feel like I at least want 1 color each over here. You know what, I'm gonna start moving things around by color and order and get myself organized and then figure out what I'm gonna put where. And the great thing about containers is I can swap them at any time if I change my mind. Okay, I've moved some things. Here's what I'm thinking. My 2 Penhill watermelons, which that one I think needs some water, are a light pink color, and those will go in between the 2 beds, because again, I want the same variety in between, because these beds are kind of mirror image from the center going out. Coming over here then, I have 1 Otto's Thrill, which is a pink 1 Thomas Edison, which is a deep purple, 2 lilac thymes, which are light purple, and then 2 fairway spurs, which are an orange color. And pink, purple, orange is the theme of this back deck. So I don't want two next to each other, so I'll probably do maybe lilac thyme, fairway spur, Thomas A. Edison, Otto's Thrill, and then repeat that pattern. So let's get these into place. Then I'll see how much room I'll have for zinnias. They are laid out in the order I want, and I definitely have room to add in probably 4 grow bags of giant zinnias. So the order I have them is lilac thyme, fairway spur, Otto's Thrill, Thomas A. Edison, lilac thyme, fairway spur. Actually, should I do 1, 2? I'm either going to do 4 or 5 zinnias. So let's start getting those planted up. This is when I hope that I have enough potting soil for what I want to do, because even though I do have 5 bags of potting soil, you go through a bag of potting soil much faster than you expect based on the space that you need to fill. So let's see how much 1 bag fills up here. And I'm currently out of compost. I need to get some more, but that I'm fine. If I can't have it to mix in at the time of planting, then I'll just go ahead and top dress with it once I get some more. I also am going to add in some slow release fertilizer for each of these once I'm done planting, and just sprinkle it into the top and then scratch it in. So let's see how much I can get from 1 bag of potting soil. So there's a teensy bit left in that bag. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to fill up 5, but we shall see. Now I need to grab one of the zinnias that I started inside. I think this is the first zinnia that I'm planting up for the season. I think I have 7 total. I started 8 and all but 1 germinated. Now these are a mix, so I don't know specifically what colors they're going to be, but I think all of them are within my color scheme. So there's like pastel purples, pastel pinks, oranges. I think there's a pastel yellow, which I'm fine with, but they're all very light colors. But let's say I plant up one, it's one of the purple ones, it's in between the 2 purple dahlias, and I don't want that much purple right next to each other. Again, great thing about container gardening is I can pick up the grow bag and swap it with a different one. So while mixes do kind of make me more anxious, because then I don't know what color it's going to be, at least this one I know all the colors in the mix I should be happy with. Maybe I'll plant them all and they'll all be the same color, who knows, but I think I'm just going to be happy either way because I'm so excited to see how these do. So that is one. Let me plant up the other ones and then we'll get everything moved in together. We'll get the cages in, the food, the plant food, slow release, and then water everything in. All right, here's where I'm at right now. I decided to do zinnia, 2 dahlias, zinnia, 2 dahlias, zinnia, 2 dahlias, zinnia. Now right now, these definitely look, spread enough apart, but these plants, everything willing, will grow. And again, a fun thing about containers is that if I realize these are too close together, I can move a couple around. They're all sitting on their platforms, so they're off the deck. I do have an irrigation system, but I don't set that up. Well, 1, I don't need it yet because we still get plenty of rain, but 2, I don't set it up until everything is in place. That way I can cut the tubing I need to whatever length. I'm hoping though with the border I had here last year that I don't have to change too much. So now I'm going to sprinkle in the plant food, the Proven Winners low release fertilizer for flowers, and add in the cages. And then once I get some compost, I'll come back. That's why I've left, room on the top here so I can come in and add some compost once I get some more. This is the plant food I'm using. It's specifically made for flowering plants, and based on the container size and the instructions, I'm just going to sprinkle about 2 tablespoons, eyeballing it into each of the bags and then scratch it in. Next, I'm going to add in the cages, and in an ideal world, you would put these in and then the plant. Since there's already plants in here, especially with the dahlias, I'm just going to be very gentle as I stick it in. That way I don't accidentally hit a tuber. I'm not as worried about the zinnias because I know the size of those pellets and how to avoid them, but with the tubers, I'm going to be gentle. So zinnias, just going to stick it in like this. Now on the packets for these, I think it says staking not required, but because it gets so windy up here, I find that things do better if I have some sort of support system. So for this dahlia, which is already a pretty good size, and something's eating the leaves, but I'm not in pest control mode yet, I'm just going to be very gentle as I pick up the leaves to get them inside of the cage. I feel like just going slow and being gentle is always a good reminder in the garden, but sometimes I just go a little bit too hectic. So again, just slowly pushing these in, and these are actually kind of a perfect fit for these 7-gallon grow bags. I am so excited right now. If this turns out even half of what I'm imagining, I'm gonna be in love. And obviously you can see the cages now, but those are gonna be covered with the leaves. I like that the green blends in with the leaves. I think the brown bags blend in really well with the brick. Also, I did want to mention, it's always kind of weird to find looking in the camera, but these handles, so the only issue I've had with mostly the beige grow bags in the past is that the handles rip off. These are sewn on really well, and I was even carrying like 1 bag full of soil with one hand, both handles. I think these are gonna hold up really well. But again, first year using these, we'll see how they do, but I love how this looks. I'll show you close up in just a second, but oh, it feels good. It feels good to be getting everything out and in place. I'm so excited it's the gardening season again. So here's where we're at. Everything is watered in and ready to go. Again, gonna add some compost, but I think it looks so nice already just having everything set up. I also just love uniformity, so all these bags and cages just look really nice together to me. I'm gonna scooch the couch back, and again, throughout the season, especially at the beginning, things do kind of shift and move a little bit. Like I might move my bucket planter over. I have 1 cosmos back there. We'll kind of see, but once everything's out and planted, then I have a good idea of where it fits best. So that is going to be everything for today. You'll see the updates in videos when I'm planting other things back here. In the monthly garden tours, I will obviously show you how these are doing. Any issues I find, I'll let you know. Anything I swap around, I will keep you updated, but I'm just so in love. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.